Day, we're pleased to welcome now Colonel David Barton, Director of the National Guard Association of Mississippi, Nan Prince, Director of Collections for the Mississippi Department of Archives and History, and Mark Smith, Executive Director of the Mississippi Veterans Affairs Board. Thanks for coming in, folks. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Colonel, tell us about the Veterans Day program scheduled for tomorrow, I believe.
Yes, sir. We'll have the annual Veterans Day program. We'll be here at the two Mississippi museums tomorrow. It will begin at 10:30. We'll have the 41st Army Band. There will be a recognition of all the veterans present, and also we'll have a small talk by Major General Bobby Ginn, the new Adjutant General of Mississippi.
Yep.
And we'll finish it up with a wreath-laying ceremony honoring fallen veterans. So begin about 10:30. It'll finish up about 11:05.
Nan is the Director of Collections. Mississippi has quite a storied history with respect to wars in general this country has been engaged in, but you've got some new World War II artifacts in the Civil Rights Museum.
We do. When we opened the Civil Rights Museum in 2017, we didn't have a lot of artifacts from African American soldiers. So over the past few years, we've been able to collect some, and we were changed out the exhibit, and it just opened just a couple of weeks ago. So we are excited about it. We've got series of artifacts in there that are from Elijah and Claudie Williams from Salis, Mississippi. The father fought in World War I and the son fought in World War II, so it's great to have those artifacts together. And we are able to tell the story of the Montford Point Marines through artifacts that belong to some Mississippi soldiers as well. We have the Congressional Medal of Honor that was awarded to Alvin Donnell. President Obama awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor to the Montford Point Marines as a whole, and Mr. Donnell's daughter donated his medal, and we have a hat in there from Dr. John Peoples as well. And we're also able to tell the story of the Port Chicago disaster through a man named Glenn Hughes, who was also from Mississippi, and he was killed in the disaster, and I did not know anything about it until I talked to his niece, who's the one who donated the artifacts. And this was a terrible disaster that happened as munitions loading onto a ship, and it was unsafe working conditions, poor training conditions, and over 300 people were killed in that disaster, including Glenn Hughes. And we have his some medals of his that are on display in the case. So
wow.
I hope everyone can come and see it.
Wow. Mark, what sort of services are available for veterans through the Mississippi Veterans Affairs?
We have currently 4 homes that are currently servicing our veterans and their families. And we have a new one opening up in Tradition after the first of the year. We have 2 cemeteries, one in Newton and one in Kilmichael, that we can inter veterans and their family members if they qualify. And we also help with disability claims through the Veterans Affairs.
It's important that we take care of our veterans. They put the uniform on to serve our country. It's the least we can do just to take care of them in this respect.
Absolutely. It's an honor.
So, Colonel, the state of Mississippi, as we were talking about, again, has just a rich history with respect to serving this nation in uniform as well. Veterans Day is something that we should all observe and certainly give some thought to those sacrifices, those services.
Yes, sir. Starting tomorrow and throughout the weekend and Monday on actual Veterans Day, as you well know, there'll be services all over the state on courthouse steps and churches, and Mississippi has just a long tradition of honoring our veterans, and we just hope that a lot of folks will be able to come out tomorrow. And we did this probably, I don't know, Mark, probably 6 years ago. I guess we moved this from actual Veterans Day to usually the last working day before, because downtown so many folks on a holiday aren't downtown at work. To try to really bolster that opportunity for people to come out. So we're excited that 2 Mississippi museums started hosting it about 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Nan, how do you come into these artifacts?
Generally, it's people who donate them to us. They'll contact us and tell us about what they want to donate. We have a collections committee that decides whether or not to bring them into the collection. And we are actively seeking military artifacts, more modern artifacts from really the Korean War forward. So if anybody has anything they want to donate, I encourage them to reach out to us.
Gotcha. Mark, before we go here quickly, anything special you guys are doing with respect to Veterans Day?
We're participating in events all across the state. One thing that Nan would probably be interested in is the USS Tallahatchie County will have an exhibit in Charleston Sunday. And I've been invited to go up there and look at those artifacts that the actual Navy people that were on the ship have actually donated. So I will talk to them and see if they can get in contact with you about that.
Appreciate you folks coming on. Enjoyed it. Thank you. Folks, we're out of time here today. We've been broadcasting from 2 Mississippi museums. We're in Oxford tomorrow for the Mississippi Banking Symposium. We'll be at Camp Shelby at the Armed Forces Museum on Monday. We'll be back again with you then. Until then, stay safe and God bless everyone.